This was question number 18 for the KCPE for the year 2011, and it has been requested by one of the viewers. It was about a cylindrical container that has a circumference of 176 centimeters and a height of 40 centimeters. The question is, what is the volume of the container in centimeters cubed? We are supposed to take pi to be 22/7. A sketch of our cylinder is something like that, which has a height of 40 centimeters, and we are also given the circumference, which is 176. Remember, the circumference is that base. It is that base which is equivalent to the top. Now, to be able to do this question, there are some things that we are supposed to know. What are we given in this question? We are given the circumference to be 176. We are also given the height of the cylinder, which is 40 centimeters, and we are also given pi to be 22/7. We are supposed to remember some of these facts so that we are able to work out that volume in centimeters cubed. What are we supposed to remember? We are supposed to remember that the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared height. In other words, you take pi multiplied by r squared, that is the radius squared, then you multiply by height. Pi r squared, this expression here, pi r squared, is the base area of that cylinder, then you multiply by height, so you'll be able, in other words, you'll be able to get the volume for that cylinder. So we are also supposed to remember that circumference of a circle is 2 pi r or pi d. 2 pi r or pi d. The only difference here is that diameter here has been expressed in terms of radius, because radius is half the diameter. So if you multiply radius times 2, you'll be able to get the diameter. So the circumference should be 2 pi r, and we need this expression here so that it can help us to get the radius, because when working out the volume of a cylinder, we shall require the radius. So pi will be 22/7. Pi will be 22/7. R will be the radius of the circle, and h will be the height of the cylinder. So let us first of all use this formula here for working out the circumference of a circle, so that we are able to get, or so that we get the radius. We are supposed to remember that the circumference is 2 pi r, and since we are given the circumference to be 176 centimeters, we shall substitute each of these unknown values here. That is, we take 2 pi, we shall substitute with 22/7. R we shall substitute with just r, because this is now what we are supposed to calculate. And 2 times 22 will be 44/7 multiplied by r. And now, to be left with r on this side, we shall take this 44/7, we multiply it onto the other side, or rather we multiply it by 176, and we shall use its reciprocal so that we eliminate this 44/7. What do I mean? On your left, you'll be left with r, and 44/7, its reciprocal is 7/44. So you multiply this one by 176. And this expression here can be simplified by taking 176, you divide by 44, you get 4. And 44 you divide by 44, you get 1. So on this side, you'll be having 4 times 7, which will be 28, and this 28 now will be our radius. This now will be our radius. So since now we've got our radius to be 28, and our formula for working out the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared. We can now substitute r with 28, and so this is what we shall be having to for the volume of that cylinder, which is 22/7. We multiply by 28 times 28 times 40. Why 28 times 28? It is because it is r squared, and r squared will mean r times r. That's why we have 28 times 28. And if we can simplify this expression here by dividing this denominator here by 7, we shall get 1. We can also divide 28 by 7. We have 4. So around the top we have 22 times 4 times 28 times 40, and that is now what we have. So 22 times 4 times 28 times 40 will give us 98,560 centimeters cubed, which will now be the volume for that cylinder. And going back to the choice, that is what you have. That is all that you are supposed to remember to be able to do that question. Thank you very much. You can continue subscribing to this channel. You can also click like and share. Otherwise, goodbye.